Welcome to the deep dive. So, you know how orange is like the classic color for dive
Oh,
watches?
yeah, totally iconic.
But isn't it funny that it's actually one of the first colors to disappear when you go deep underwater? It's kind of weird,
It
right?
absolutely is a real paradox. And that's actually why we're so excited to plunge into today's deep dive, the new Omega Seamaster Diver 300 MAVE no date.
Ah, okay. So Omega, the name in dive watches, basically.
Exactly. And now they're bringing that classic vibrant orange, surprisingly, to one of their most popular collections.
Right. And for you listening, our mission today is really to, well, cut through the hype. We want to unpack the backstory of this watch, how it evolved to get this orange version.
Yeah, and really zoom in on the details that make it special.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We'll give you the key nuggets, the heritage, the tech, what makes this watch tick, literally and figuratively. So let's get into it.
Okay, so starting with that curious thing about orange, you nailed it, super common, but disappears quickly underwater. But that hasn't stopped Omega. I mean, for maybe the last 20 years or so, orange has been a big deal for them, mostly, as the signature color for the Seamaster Planet Ocean line.
Right. The PO practically owns that color for Omega. It's interesting how that happens. A color becomes synonymous with a model,
It really does. And now, yeah, for the very first time, this bright orange is making an appearance on the Seamaster Diver 300M or no date.
which is wild because it's such a classic dive watch shade.
Yeah.
But yeah, never on this particular Seamaster before.
Oh.
So how did we get here? How did this watch evolve to this point?
Well, that takes us back to the Seamaster Diver 300M itself. It first came out in 1993. Back then, it was the SMP 300M, the Seamaster Professional 300Mer,
Okay, the original.
the original, and it just exploded in popularity. Partly, and you probably remember this, because of James Bond.
Oh yeah, the Bond connection. Huge. GoldenEye, right?
That's the one. And it's definitely seen some changes since 93. There was that big overhaul in 2018 for the 25th anniversary. That was a major refresh.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
Ceramic bezels, updated movements. But what about the more recent stuff, these no-date versions that popped up last year that felt like a shift, especially after, wasn't it seen on Daniel Craig's wrist first?
That's a great point. Yeah, that teaser was definitely intentional. Omega then officially rolled out the Seamaster Diver 300 May no date range. First in steel, I think it was black or silver dials.
Okay.
Then came some pretty cool versions in titanium and bronze gold with a green dial, and even a full bronze gold one with a burgundy bezel.
Wow, okay. So quite a few options there.
Yeah, and the key thing, the real influence behind this whole no-date evolution was that military-inspired watch they made for the Bond film No Time to Die.
Ah, okay. So it wasn't just about taking the date off the dial. That military vibe must have driven other changes too. What else did they tweak for this no-date line?
Exactly right. It was more than just cleaning up the dial. They brought back an aluminum bezel insert.
Instead of ceramic.
Oh, yeah, and the dials are actually made of the same material now, which gives it a different feel, a different texture compared to the glossy ceramic ones.
Okay.
We also saw the return of a box-shaped sapphire crystal, gives it that slightly retro vintage look. Mesh metal bracelets showed up on some models, and get this, even the classic wave pattern dial made a comeback on certain versions.
The waves are back. People love those.
They do, but it's important to say the regular date versions, the ceramic bezel versions, they're all still there, still part of the main collection, lots of colors. This no date thing is like a parallel path, a different flavor.
Gotcha. So offering different styles within that same popular family makes sense. And that kind of design thinking brings us right back to the orange, doesn't it? How they decided to actually use it here. Because, like we said, classic color, but first time on the Diver 300 Dam. How'd they do it?
Well, that's where it gets kind of subtle. Instead of, a big statement, like a full orange bezel, which Omega really keeps for the Planet Ocean family.
Right, like the big 600-meter ones or the ultra deep.
Exactly. The PO Chrono, the standard time and date PO, the ultra deep, those get the full-on orange treatment sometimes. But here on the Diver 300M, they decided to play it a bit softer. The orange is used purely as accents.
Accents. Okay, so not drowning in orange, just
Yeah.
splashes of it.
Yeah.
Where exactly do we see these orange touches?
So you'll find it on the applied hour markers, specifically at 12, 3, 6, and 9. Pretty neat touch.
Okay, the cardinal points.
Yep. And then also on the Lollipop seconds hand, that little circle is orange.
Huh.
And the Seamaster logo on the dial itself. That's it for the orange.
And the rest of the dial.
The other markers and hands are rhodium plated, and they're packed with superluminova, of course, and they actually use different lume colors, blue for the hour hand, and markers green for the minute hand and the bezel pip, so you can tell them apart easily in the dark.
Smart. Legibility is key.
Totally. And the dial base itself is sandblasted matte black. Gives it a nice non-reflective tool watch look.
Okay. I have to say, though, I can almost hear some folks thinking maybe they wanted a bit more orange. Like maybe just on the bezel triangle, around the loom pip, brighten it up a little. Did Omega maybe play it a bit too safe here? Or is that the point?
That's a really interesting question, and I think personally it probably is the point. It feels like a deliberate choice to keep the Diver 300M distinct from the Planet Ocean. The PO is the bolder, maybe more hardcore tool watch in the lineup.
Whereas the 300M is maybe a bit more versatile. Dress it up, dress it down.
Exactly. Using just accents keeps that core versatility, that elegance almost, while still giving a nod to that dive watch heritage with the orange. It makes it its own thing. But speaking of the core elements, let's talk specs, what's actually making up the watch.
Right. So the basics are the same as the other no-date models, yeah.
Pretty much identical, yeah. You've got that 42mm stainless steel case, mostly brushed, but with those nice polished chamfers on the lugs.
The signature lyre lugs.
Those are the ones. Still got the conical helium escape valve at 10 o'clock. Always a conversation starter.
Huh? Yeah, love it or hate it.
Right. Screw-in crown, obviously, with guards on the side. And that classic scalloped unidirectional bezel, easy to grip.
And the crystal. We mentioned it's box-shaped now.
Yeah, box-shaped sapphire crystal. Gives it that nice profile height, great vintage look. It's got anti-reflective coating on the inside, too. Helps with glare.
And the bezel insert is aluminum now, not ceramic.
Matte black aluminum, yeah. With a full 60-minute dive scale, loomed pip at 12, and water resistance is still naturally 300 meters. Solid.
And how does it wear? 42 millimeters sounds, 42 millimeters. But thickness, lug to lug.
It's about 13.8 millimeters thick, and the lug to lug is just under 50 millimeter, which on paper might sound a little chunky for some wrists.
Okay.
But honestly, it wears much better than those numbers suggest, especially on the rubber strap. It just hugs the wrist really nicely. The way the lugs curve down helps a lot.
That's good to hear. Numbers don't always tell the whole story with wearability.
Yeah.
So, okay, what's ticking inside? What movement are we dealing with here?
Inside, we've got Omega's caliber 8806. That's the specific non-date version from their 1880X series of movements.
In-house, right?
Oh, yeah, fully in-house.
Yeah.
Automatic, single barrel. And crucially, it's master chronometer certified by Metis. Which means it's passed a whole battery of tests beyond just COSC chronometer certification. So super accurate, reliable, and highly resistant to magnetism up to 15,000 Gauss, which is huge.
Impressive.
It really is. It also features Omega's coaxial escapement, which is, their signature tech for reducing friction and improving long-term stability.
And power reserve. Frequency.
Runs at 3.5 hertz, a slightly unusual frequency, and stores about 55 hours of power reserve. Pretty decent. And you can see it through the sapphire caseback. It's got that nice Omega decoration, the Geneva stripes, and that sort of arabesque pattern, blackened screws, red text. Looks good.
Sounds like a solid package, technically.
Yeah.
So for you, our listener, if you're thinking, okay, I like the sound of this, what are the options? How do you actually buy it? Straps.
Right. Good question. Omega's offering two main options here. You can get it on a matching orange rubber strap. Really leans into that color accent, looks very sporty. It comes on a fold-over clasp.
Okay, the bold choice.
Definitely. Or if you want something maybe a bit more versatile, a bit more classic looking, there's a mesh steel bracelet option. It's got a nice brush finish, also uses a folding clasp. Looks quite sleek, actually.
Mesh, okay.
Yeah.
Gives it a different vibe entirely.
Yeah.
And the crucial bits. Is it out now, and what's the damage price-wise?
Yep, it's available now. It's joining the permanent collection, so it's not a limited edition or anything.
Yeah.
As for pricing, the version on the orange rubber strap, let's see, it's EUR 6,800 including tax, CHF 5,400 excluding tax, or USD 6,500 excluding tax.
Okay, and the mesh bracelet.
That one's a bit more. EUR 7,200 including tax, CHF 5,700 excluding tax, or USD 6,800 excluding tax.
Gotcha. So a slight premium for the bracelet, as usual.
Pretty standard, yeah.
All right, so as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, thinking about you, the listener, who wants those quick takeaways, what are the main things to remember here? For me, it's definitely that weird, cool history of orange on dive watches, that paradox.
Totally. That's a great starting point.
And then how Omega cleverly brought that color to this specific watch, the Diver 300M, for the first time, but did it subtly with just accents. It's a neat blend of, heritage and modern style in this whole no-date evolution.
I agree completely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think about how just one color placed really strategically can tell a whole story.
Hmm.
It connects this watch to the bigger Omega Dive family, like the planet ocean. But those small accents still let it have its own personality, its own identity. What does using accents instead of a full block of color really say about a watch's character? And how does it maybe invite you, to look a little closer at those small details that really define the whole design? Something to think about.